What up YouTube, welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be breaking down my GJ trades that I took today. Over 100 pips caught. I took 3 trades through London and NY, and we're going to be breaking them down all for you guys. I hope you guys will understand my entries and why I got into these trades, and yeah, so without further ado, let's continue and start the video. What up guys, and welcome to my analysis on GJ and how we took these trades. I'm going to be going through them over here for you guys, so just sit back and bring a pen and paper and we can start. So let's get a window up over here. Oh wow, look at all this stuff. But anyway, let's just get rid of all this and start with a fresh. So my time frame at the start, we always start at 7:30, which is pre-London. And at this time over here, for the higher time frames, the hourly, the 4-hour were all quite bearish. And I actually was looking for sells. So first of all here, this is resistance, very, very clear. So I was looking for buys above. And support was down at these areas over here. So what I'm looking at is the bodies of the candles over here. Very, very important to look at the bodies. And for me, what I was looking for was firstly this candle to close below and then make the top wick and then drive down. Unfortunately, we pushed down already. We had clean candles to the left, so this move was very, very nice, but I missed it unfortunately because this candle pushed too far and didn't make a nice top wick. If this candle over here made a bit of more of a top wick and tapped this zone and flipped, I would have entered. And then obviously we came down to the next support, which is right around this area. Now keep this a note. So I wasn't annoyed, I wasn't envious of people trying to get in here and taking these sales. I was happy. I couldn't get my entry, therefore I move on. And the reason why I couldn't get it is because I like a 10 pip stop, and here it would have been 18 pips to have that, so I had to wait for the top wick and it never came, so that's fine. So still didn't call anything and waited. We tapped this zone. We actually closed back up over here, and then we had a little more of a retracement, but then I saw this 15-minute close bearish. Now at this time the 30-minute also was flipping bearish right around this time. I was like, right, this is looking good now. Even though this candle didn't close below, we are rejecting these highs already, so we're already making a certain type of resistance over here, which is nice, a minor resistance. So let's take a look over here. And if we do start exceeding this low again, we could fill these wicks up and continue lower. And my targets were first of all to obviously 10 pips away, etc, etc. But my first target for me was kind of for the 400 level. I think that was quite a nice level. And then furthermore, to 157, 250. I like 250 because we know resistance normally acts as support when we come back down to the zone, and as you can see, we actually kind of did that over here. But anyway, so furthermore, we got a 50-minute close, and I said, we're flipping the 30 if this candle makes a top wick, because at the moment, if I got in when we exceed these lows, for me, 18 pip stops is way too much for me, so I have to wait for the top wick to form on the next candle. And luckily, we got a nice top wick, rejecting this zone. So you can see, you can class like this whole zone over here as one zone, and if we do reject this zone and start pushing back down over here, we should then continue. So keeping that knowledge over here, I saw the top wick make the top wick and start flipping, and I was like, right, so safer sells are going to be when we leave this zone again and exceed the lows. And at that time I also measured, if we exceed the lows, look what we've got. We've got a 10 pip stop loss. Beautiful for me. And I'm looking towards the left, we've got clean candles down. So we took a sell at this point. I'll just show you the sell, and I'll show you how I marked it up. Look at the Telegram over here. So we took a sell. This is also caught on my live stream. If you guys haven't joined the live stream, make sure to come. It's on YouTube. But it was this trade over here. So sell at 575, 846. You can see stop loss 675, 10 pips, etc, etc for my targets. So let's just mark this up on the chart over here. So 575 was right around this area. Stop loss is 675, which is here. And then beautiful. And if you go back on my recap, I was also using dynamic risk, where if price came back into the zone over here, I think it was 640, 650, I'd be closing half. So I was always managing my trade. One thing that I learned, from a young age and drilling into me is, I always look at how to get out of the trade. Everything's fine when it goes right, but when it's not going the right way that you you wanted it to go, you need to start to manage risk. And that's how I've been taught to do that, and that's what I do now. And you can can see we actually pushed down very, very quickly over here, and we actually hit a beautiful target, which I think actually hit about 20 pips. Let's take a look over here. Or 15. It was 15 pips, yeah. So 15, 16 pips. Beautiful trade. Very, very easy, very, very simple. Okay. And then that was me for the end of the session, because you know at 9 o'clock, 9:30 we normally tend to range. As you can see here, that's exactly what we do. And this is from backtesting. I go through it through my webinars with a mentorship group, but basically the London volume comes here, and then we relax between 9:30 and 11:30, and then we continue. And as you can see, this is a perfect day demonstrating that, because look, 11:15 we start getting some momentum. Great. Now, furthermore, let's just get rid. I'll keep this line, and let's get rid of these lines over here, which were targets. Actually, no, I can keep them. They were targets. Nice. I'll get rid of that one. So, come towards pre-New York, where I do with the private mentorship group, and we started seeing price coming down over here. This candle closed just below support, but not good enough confirmation to take this trade straight away. So what I first was looking was this candle over here to make a top wick and then continue and flip, and this would be a nice break into the zone with volume exceeding the wicks to the lower side. The only issue I didn't like was these wicks. I didn't like these wicks. They were pissing me off. So for me, I was just being a bit cautious, and I saw the 50-minute close bullish. Like, right, okay, 50-minute closing bullish. Now, if we do exceed the low, this is a celery play. Shout out to Control FX who came out with the name for this. But I'll show you in my setups what it is. Let's take a look over here. There we go. So you can see over here, this is exactly what I'm talking about. So we entry on the low is the celery play. Stop loss is above, which is right here. And that's exactly what we try to take over here. Now, I need to tell you a bit more about this trade, because people held on, but some people closed out early, and the reason is because of discipline, like I showed them. So let's just take a look first of this signal. So yeah, when price came over here, that was nice. That was a good entry. I actually entered, but we were coming towards the end of the hourly candle. Now everyone knows that hourly candles make big top wicks and bottom wicks. Okay, so we were in this trade as a group, and it was still valid, but a lot of people took out the trade because of the fact that the hourly doesn't make a top wick, and that means you are basically guaranteed some drawdown. Luckily, this actually didn't happen, and we kept breaking lower lows, lower highs. We didn't actually exceed any highs over here and continue down, so most of us kept the trade on over here. So I'll show you this in the thing. Let's take a look over here. So look, as you see here, this is the dynamic risk before, take off 50%, etc, etc. So that's what I always do with my members. I have to show the 50% to manage the trade. And then there we go, sell stops 478, stop loss 578. So let's take a look at this trade over here, and then we had our take profit. So 478, let's take a look over here. Right around the zone, 478. I wanted to exceed in this candle. Stop loss is 578, which was on the wick it's just made, which is beautiful, exactly how I planned it. And then we continue down. Now, price continued over here to around about this zone, and it was 1230. We know 1230 does make a top wick, and I thought, right, we've got candles to the left. What do we have? Let's take a look. We have clean candles to the left. So forget about all this stuff. This wasn't here, but from a perspective of just looking towards the left, we've got clean candles towards this zone. For me, I actually clean candles all the way down to these lows over here. So I like this zone. Because before it was resistance, after it was support, so this is a nice zone, and I was still looking for sells. When GJ is trending, you need to be able to enter these trades, because they can be very, very highly profitable. And I actually found an entry over here, which I didn't actually post on the Telegram, but we did it in the Zoom call. So because I didn't have enough time to add it, but basically what happened was price came down over here. Everyone made a good enough pip, so right around this time, I told people to close some, etc., and then leave some runners on, which is great. And everyone running a little bit. I'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, so price is around about 16, 17 pips in profit. I was like, great. Now the 30-minute is closing. So now this is stops to break even, risk-free trade. We're leaving a runner on to go to our final TPs over here. But I know that the 30-minute is opening. We always make a top wick most of the time. 85% of candles make a top wick. And you can see the 30-minute pulled up over here. And I was like, oh, wow, if this candle flips over here, we are going to be in a great position to maybe take another trade with a nice stop loss. So the price came up over here, and then on the 5 minutes we started ranging. You can look at the recaps on my Instagram, etc., etc. I don't want to go through that. And then when we started exceeding these lows over here with the next 12:45 candle, we entered again, so a double entry. So we had a runner on here, but we had another lot over here, and basically this is dynamic risk. This is, you know, adding trades on when you're already in some profit over here. So if my stop loss hit, which was I got in at 315, so it's around about a 5 pip stop. You know, my runner's going to help me out a lot with you know, taking that loss over here. And the reason why I took this trade is because of the risk that I could take. So I could take a 5 pip trade, and I know that we had clean candles to the left. So my gain, you know, what I was expecting was around about 15 pips, and then furthermore, you know, 28, 30 pips. Okay, so at that time I took this trade. We had a little bit of drawdown because 5 minutes was playing, but then with volume we started pushing, and I then came over here. I put my stop loss to break even around about 250. Where was it? Not 250, sorry. Around about 215, which is here. I took some off, but most of the time I actually took most of my position off around about 30 pips. And keep in mind, the runner from the other one was also running. So in total, in this trade, we got 45 pips, and then the second one got 30 pips, and then the one before we also got 15 pips. So broken down nicely. So I can't really show you now because we also traded up, but at this time all of the higher time frames, so obviously this candle came over here, looks like big volume, but when we were trading, you know, we had a 4-hour bearish candle below support here. We were starting to make the top wick and flipping. The hourlies were very, very bearish. Look at the rejection from the highs, and it's very, very simple. You know, look how clean my charts are, very, very clean. You know, we tapped where we wanted to go to over here, which was my TPs, and then obviously we've retraced up from then. But the move was done very, very nicely, and you know, I entered 3 times, 3 winners, 100 pips. And these are the days you can make a lot of money on. When GJ's ranging like this, you need to be careful. Wait until there's nice huge volume and you can take some beautiful trades. So I hope you guys enjoyed the little recap over here. If you guys did like the video, make sure to like and subscribe. It helps me out a ton. If you guys are new here, yeah, just drop a comment and say you're new here. And yeah, wicked. Make sure you join me in the live streams every single morning for London session. And yeah, peace out, guys. Thank you very, very much. See you later.